This polling location, which is surrounded by campaign signs that you see right behind me here, sits in a solid Republican Texas House district. What they wanted is to hear from some of the state agencies and how they're potentially using AI, what their plans are. A trial in this case is set for June 10th, but the judge signaled what that outcome might already be. In Eagle Pass, more than 4,000 migrants crossed the border on Monday, which set a record. This drone footage gives some perspective of the scale of the surge. You can see the fencing set up in this field to organize the processing of migrants there. Only 2 years after the campaign school began, 11 graduates have now launched campaigns of their own. 3 of the whistleblowers who went forward and reported Ken Paxton to the FBI back in 2020 are there now in the gallery. Our photographers zooming in, we believe it's David Maxwell, Ryan Vassar, and Blake Brickman. Lawmakers filed thousands of bills, a record 5,300 in the House alone, yet only a small fraction of those deal with toll reforms. It's maybe seeming surprising that you are now calling potentially to reopen the impeachment proceedings now 4 months later. Why do this now? Volunteers have a table set up right inside the front doors. They will be here until midnight. We've seen the cloud cover break here and there, and right now the sun is shining, so fingers crossed that this will stick around for a little while longer. But I just want to show you, you hear the music back here behind me. A block party is happening on Main Street in Marble Falls. The crowd is gathered over here. Some are eating food, some are dancing a little bit. Attorney General Ken Paxton is setting his investigator sights on Spirit Aerosystems. The company has a facility in Dallas and makes the fuselages for the Boeing 737 jetliner. That's the work that came under intense scrutiny after this happened in January. A panel blew off an Alaskan Airlines plane mid-flight, and Paxton would now like company records about other defects. Does a company have to comply with one of these requests?
Yeah, this is one of those mandatory compliance issues. It says they shall permit the Attorney General to examine and make copies of the records of the entity, and that he has the power to investigate the organization, conduct, and management of the entity.
The letter from Ken Paxton's office came to a Spirit Aerosystems office here in downtown Austin. He says the company has to respond and produce all the documents he's requesting by April 17th. Paxton would also like to delve into DEI. He's asking for Spirit to hand over proof of claims that a diverse workplace improves product quality, as well as demographic info for workers laid off in 2020. One critic worries about what these requests imply.
I think really is telling that in this current political climate, there's a newfound suspicion about the presence of people who were historically discriminated against, and there's still, in some ways, a view of inferiority and even incompetence by their mere inclusion into certain institutions.
In response to the AG filing, a spokesperson for the company reacted, saying, "While we do not comment on investigations, Spirit is wholly focused on providing the highest quality products to all of our customers." For Texas Democrats, the race for Senate drew statewide attention, and voters settled the primary without needing a runoff. It sets up a November battle between incumbent Ted Cruz and Democrat Colin Allred.
All right, well, good evening, Texas.
Colin Allred celebrated finishing first in the Democratic Senate primary, but his Republican rival, Ted Cruz, may feel more momentum after Tuesday. Statewide, he received almost 2 million votes. That's nearly 3 times what Allred got in his election. However, pollster Joshua Blank pointed out other factors at play.
It's easy to make comparisons, but the Republicans had a very, very active campaign, especially at the state's House level, that was seeking to really drive out voters, honestly, for down ballot races. There was nothing like that going on the Democratic side.
Hello, my name is Robin Land.
The Cruz campaign rolled out a new digital ad touting his crossover appeal with some Democrats.
I'm voting for Ted Cruz.
I'm voting for Ted Cruz.
It echoes a similar message Allred sent to supporters.
I'm proud of being the most bipartisan member of the Texas delegation, not because bipartisanship in and of itself is the goal, but because getting things done is the goal.
No matter what, at the end of the day, we're all Democrats and we're all going to pull in behind Colin Allred to defeat Ted Cruz.
Nancy Thompson's progressive group endorsed Allred's primary opponent, Roland Gutierrez, but now they're supporting the Dallas congressman and will soon put out their first ad against Cruz.
And we're asking people who are voters and non-voters, like, the time is now to work together on the big picture issues so we can defeat Ted Cruz.
While the candidates can count on their bases, it seems they're looking for an outright win by pulling in more Texas voters from the margins.
This box is filled with precious moments. They're little figurines. I started collecting them as a baby.
Lauren Rodriguez is packing up what matters most to her ahead of a big move next month.
I'm excited.
Last year, she talked to us about putting her house for sale, and now that it's sold, she'll soon leave Texas and reunite with her transgender son, Grayson.
I asked for a last photo in Texas because he's never coming back, and this is what I got.
Grayson already flew more than 7,000 miles from Austin to New Zealand to begin nursing school and a new life far from the political fights happening at the Texas State House. This week, state lawmakers sent Senate Bill 14 to the governor's desk. The legislation bans transgender children from receiving puberty blockers or hormone therapies, as well as surgeries to aid in their transition. Every Republican in the Texas House supported it, along with these 4 Democrats. Only one, Representative Sean Thierry, rose to explain her vote.
I am making a decision to place the safety and well-being of all young people over the comfort of political expediency.
That spotlight led to a Democratic club in her Houston district to formally censure her. Plus, a challenger officially announced he'll try to unseat her. Equality Texas, the LGBTQ plus advocacy organization, predicts backlash at the ballot box.
I think it cements in her legacy something that will not be viewed pleasantly by people in the future.
Despite the pushback, Thierry stands by her vote.
I believe that the majority of people that live, work, and play in my district agree with me, and I heard from them.
The election is more than a year away, and one thing's for certain, Lauren Rodriguez and her family won't be Texas voters much longer.
What's next? Like, I don't know where they're going to stop, but I frankly don't want to be here to find out either. So.
Will DuPree, KXAN News.